Yeah, the job's not done. It's exciting. I think you're very close, right? You're very close to your dream, but at the same time, you're far away. You have to win a series against a really good team.
When you left Toronto, I know you talked to Connor Brown about this. It hurt because that was the team you love playing for, but it's worked out because you affected the journey with the Russians.
Yeah. It's easy when it's not really your decision. So it was an easy decision for me. You know, when we closed the book on Toronto, I've said it multiple times, but Edmonton immediately was the place that I had my eye on, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I said it recently in an interview. It truly was. It was a place that I thought I'd fit in well on a personal level, playing with unbelievable players, and then it was the place that I thought would have the best chance to win, and the team that I thought I could help the most and get to this point, right? And that's the ultimate goal for me, for my wife, you know, for our family, was finding a place to live that we could grow a family, and Edmonton was that place. And then, selfishly, finding a place where I could win a Stanley Cup, because that's my goal. That's been my dream since I was a little kid, and my entire family is on board with that. Like, that's their dream also. So Edmonton was the perfect fit, and every year it's gotten better, and now we're here in a position that when I signed, I hope I'd be in to have an opportunity to play for a Stanley Cup.
And you were drafted for
The time you've been in the league, Connor's the leading scorer, Leon's the second. What's it like to play with these giants? A little bit about their relationship with each other, both as hockey players.
Yeah. When you sign, I played against Connor and Leon a ton in that Canadian division. It was the first time I really played against them, because you only play them twice a year when it's a normal season. So I got to see them a ton, and I got to witness firsthand how good they were. And then I signed, and then I was able to really see how good they are. When you play with them, when you practice with them every day, I think they both have an inner drive to push themselves to be the best version of themselves, so that they can win. I think that's their goal. They're both incredible team players, team first guys. They have an unbelievable relationship. I'm on the outside looking in on that relationship, but they have a ton of, I think, mutual respect for each other, and they talk a lot about how to be successful, whether it's on the power play, whether they play together. There's always communication. And yeah, they're best buddies too. I think when you play that long together and there's that mutual respect for each other, you're going to be really good friends. So it's been a pleasure to be able to join them and play with them and witness it firsthand. I still can't believe we lost that series, to be honest. Don't talk about it too much, but he's a playoff performer. I was drafted by them in 2010, so kind of full circle. Very fortunate to be drafted by them at the time. It was a huge moment for me as a young player to say, I think anytime you get drafted and you're on the cusp, like going into the draft, you weren't sure if you're going to get drafted, and then you get drafted. It's just a huge milestone for you to be like, hey, I was recognized. You know, an NHL team recognized me as a potential prospect to play in the NHL, and that's a huge moment for a young player. I was able to go to a ton of development camps with them and really experience kind of the NHL atmosphere for the first time. Never really had the opportunity to play for them when I was coming out of college. They were loaded with prospects, and I took advantage of kind of that loop year. They didn't want to sign me before that, and I wasn't ready to be signed during year 2 or 3 at Michigan. I needed the full 4 years to develop, and then Toronto traded for my rights, and then I played for Toronto. So I was drafted by Florida, but didn't have much of a relationship, I would say, with anybody who's still here.
Did you physically go to that draft?
Yep, it was in LA, 2010.
Were you nervous that maybe your name might not be called?
I think, you just kind of hear things from I mean, at the time it was my advisor, now my agent, that there's a good chance you should be there because there's a good chance you're going to get drafted. And Florida was one of the teams that he thought would take me. Didn't know what round. They're like, yeah, it could be anywhere from the second round to the seventh round, but we really think you're going to get drafted. So that that's all you need to hear. I said, okay, amazing. I'm going to go. My grandparents lived in Palm Springs, so it was a 2-hour drive to LA. They came in for it. My parents were there. My brothers were there. So my girlfriend, who's now my wife, was there. So it was a cool moment for me to get drafted. And then, yeah, obviously, full circle.
Did you ever see Markov at all when he was running?
Yeah, I did. I saw him his first year he got drafted. I got drafted in 2010. He would have been drafted a couple years after that, 13. Yeah, so I would have seen him for sure, his first development camp.
Do you remember playing against him and how hard, what is it about playing against him? How maybe he's against your one, how you guys can
Well, he's a phenomenal player, obviously. Big, strong, can skate, can check. So does everything, really. I think he's underrated in a sense because he doesn't play in Toronto or Boston or any of the huge markets, so people don't see him as much. But he is a superstar and a phenomenal two-way player.